The smell hit me before the silence did. Lavender and rain, the scent of our laundry detergent, lingered faintly in the hallway. But underneath it was something sharper, something wrong. A metallic tang like blood. Or fear. My key trembled as it turned in the lock. The soft click echoed louder than I remembered. It was 2:47 a.m. I'd left the bar hours ago, made excuses to my friends, and slipped into someone else's bed. A mistake I'd been rehearsing in my mind for months but hadn't meant to make real until tonight. And now, standing in the doorway of the home I shared with Noah, I felt my chest tighten. The air was too still. The kind of still that hums. "Noah!" I called out, my voice cracked small. No answer. Just the quiet thud of rain against the windows and the faint buzz of the fridge. I kicked off my heels, each step heavy with guilt. The tile was cold against my bare feet. My heart raced, not from what I'd done but from something else. Something watching me from the corners of the dark. I knew Noah's patterns. He stayed up late, sketching designs for the architecture firm, humming quietly to himself. He'd leave a small lamp on by the sofa when he was waiting for me. But tonight the house was dark. My phone buzzed in my purse. I ignored it. I already knew it was Ethan, the man I'd just left, texting something that would make my stomach turn. "Last night was real." Or, "I can't stop thinking about you." My hands shook as I reached for the living room light. The switch clicked but nothing happened. The bulb was out. That's when I saw the wine glasses on the coffee table. 2 of them. One with deep red lipstick, mine. The other smudged with fingerprints. But I hadn't been drinking here tonight. A cold pulse rippled through me. Turned slowly. Noah's jacket was gone from the rack. His shoes too. The only thing left was his watch, lying face down on the counter. It was still ticking. Earlier that evening, I had told myself I deserved to feel alive again. That Noah's growing distance, his quiet detachment, his long nights at work, meant something had already broken between us. I'd built excuses around my loneliness until they sounded like truth. Ethan had been easy, a coworker who looked at me the way Noah used to, with hunger and attention. But as I leaned into his warmth tonight, I kept thinking of Noah's hands. His quiet steadiness. The way he used to trace invisible shapes on my back as we fell asleep. And now, standing in our silent apartment, I felt those same hands missing. Picked up his watch. The faint ticking filled my ears like a heartbeat. Then I saw the note underneath. Folded once. My name on it, written in Noah's handwriting. Lena. That was all it said on the outside. Just my name. Inside 5 words. "I know where you were." I dropped the paper. My throat closed. For a long, terrible moment I stood frozen. Then instinct took over. I rushed to the bedroom. The bed was stripped bare. No sheets, no pillows. The closet doors were wide open, half empty. His suitcase was gone. On the nightstand sat a flash drive. And beside it my wedding ring. My pulse thudded in my ears. I slid the flash drive into my laptop. The screen flickered. A video folder. Timestamp tonight. 12:04 a.m. Press play. The footage was from our living room. The camera, hidden in the bookshelf, showed me leaving hours earlier. I watched myself in fast forward. Smiling faintly, checking my reflection, fixing my lipstick before heading out. Then silence. Until an hour later, Noah appeared. He came in quietly, like he was afraid to break something fragile. He looked around the room, picked up his phone and made a call. I couldn't hear the words, but I saw his expression change. From confusion to disbelief to pain. He set the phone down, sat on the sofa and stared into nothing. Then he started packing. No screaming. No anger. Just mechanical precision. He paused once, to pick up a photo of us from the shelf. He turned it over, ran his thumb along the edge, then placed it face down. Before leaving, he looked into the camera, into me, and whispered something I couldn't hear. Then he left. The video ended. And I broke. I spent the rest of the night pacing. My mind split in two. One part replaying his note, the other replaying my betrayal. Guilt is an acidic thing. Eats quietly, slowly. When dawn bled through the curtains, I called him. No answer. I texted, emailed, begged. Nothing. By 8 a.m. I was sitting on the floor, clutching my phone when I saw the message arrive. From Noah. Subject: proof. There was a link. My stomach turned as I clicked it. A shared drive opened. Hundreds of photos. Screenshots of my messages with Ethan. Hotel receipts. Security footage of us leaving together. I didn't know how he'd gotten them. And then, at the bottom, one final file. You'll understand soon. Clicked it. It was a photo of the deed to the apartment. My name had been removed. My blood ran cold. He had transferred it to someone else. His sister, maybe, or his lawyer. My world was unraveling. I didn't sleep that night. Or the next. The apartment began to rot in silence. I couldn't eat. Every sound felt like his footsteps. Every reflection looked like his face. On the third night, I finally gathered the courage to drive to his office. His assistant looked at me with pity. "He's on leave," she said softly. "Indefinite." "Where did he go?" She hesitated. "He didn't say. He just left this for you." She handed me a brown envelope. Inside was a letter. "Lena, you once asked me why I stopped drawing houses at home. It's because I didn't want to design spaces for ghosts. I felt you slipping away for months. I thought maybe if I stayed quiet, you'd hear the silence and come back. But tonight I realized you already did, and not to me. You don't have to explain. I don't need the details. I just hope whoever he is, he makes you feel like you still have a heartbeat. Because I can't anymore. Take care of yourself. I'll be gone before the weekend. Don't look for me. N." My hands shook so hard the paper tore at the edges. Weeks passed. The guilt didn't fade. Calcified. Quit my job. Ethan called a few times, then stopped. He'd gotten what he wanted. I kept hearing Noah's voice in my head, the quiet steadiness of it, the way he said my name like a secret. And then one morning I woke to find an email from an unknown sender. No subject. Just an attachment. A blueprint. When I opened it, I saw a detailed layout for a small house by the sea. Hand-drawn. His signature in the corner. Beneath it, a note. I built something new. Not for us, but because of us. The address was at the bottom. I stared at it for hours, wondering if I had the right to go. To see what he'd built. To see what I'd destroyed. In the end, I didn't. I closed my laptop and walked outside into the rain. The scent of lavender followed me faintly, like memory. And for the first time, I realized the worst part of betrayal isn't being caught. It's realizing you lost someone who would have forgiven you, if only you'd been honest before it was too late.